First and foremost, before we get started, I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rekah Kadash, and above to those Greek millstone, Wallet is truth. And also to those elect that are scattered abroad, I like to say, Shalom. And come back here today with another great, powerful lesson, the spirit and the power of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. So the type of day lesson is 2024, a year of chaos. So I like to say Shalom to all of this learn. Hope this will help you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. So before we start today's lesson, let's go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 29 and verse 6. He said, "Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder and with earthquakes and great noise, with storms and tempests and the flame of devouring fire." So let's get a little bit more to back this up. Let's go here to Amos chapter, the book of Amos chapter 3, Amos chapter 3 and verse 6. Amos chapter 3 and verse 6. And it reads, says, "Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in a city, and the Lord has not done it?" So one thing about it, we know that the Lord is causing all these things to happen around the world. We know that the Lord is visiting the earth, with what earthquakes, with what storms and tempests, and what devouring fire, and also with the great noise. We know that that great noise goes into what? Goes into these IBCM missiles. We already know we at the beginning of World War III. So hey man, we're here, man. We seeing that these things are popping out. This is what they call the so-called New Year. And one thing about it is that we seeing that things are already happening. And over in Japan was hit with a 7.6 magnitude earthquake today, and also they are under a tsunami watch. They already had a tsunami in the high tides. A lot of destruction. A lot of things are happening. At the same time, also it was reports of 40 more earthquakes are going off around the world. What I'm saying? So things are happening. The Lord is constantly picking it up. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city? So we seeing that happening, man, simultaneous, left and right. And also in the news, the ATF has updated their background check policy for that will allow illegal aliens or migrants to purchase firearms. So we already know this would cause civil war, also sedition among men. And one thing about it, we already know this is order out of chaos, and we're not ignorant of Satan devices. So we already know this that Biden has passed this bill called the Defense Act bill. This is in the news too. Also, whereby they would with no warrant can come and search and seize your property, also your water rights. Also, it is and also they can eavesdrop on your calls, your texts. This going into censorship. So we already knowing that T-Mobile has started now January the 1st, so that whereby they deem something that they don't like that you said against or said something about this or that, they will fine you. And also, that's going to lead into these facilities, these guillotines, these FEMA camps. What I'm saying? So we already know that persecution of the saints also is coming. So the Lord is constantly picking it up. So we know that the brick currency is constantly coming online. Also, we know that a lot of these nations are constantly, they are done with the dollar. We already know that the end of the dollar is the end of America. We know there's rumors all over the place of a great economic collapse, a stock market collapse. So we seeing these things are constantly picking up. So we already know this is the first look of 2024 is already has begun. These plagues, these scourges, these calamities are not slacking down for a moment. So we're seeing a lot of these things are coming out. Also, in the so-called Middle East, things are heating up over there with the Houthi rebels in Yemen. They have attacked merchant ships in the Red Sea. They have did it, I think, about 12 times. And the U.S. has retaliated, and they have sunk four of their boats, and they have killed everyone aboard those boats. And also, it reports that Iran is sending a warship to to the Red Sea. So we already know that's a very important chokehold. That's the the Straits of Hormuz. You know, a lot of trade and a lot of oil goes through that. So you know what I'm saying. We get a lot of supplies, and you know I think there's 15% of global trade that goes through there. So we already know if that get affected, we already know that would cause hyperinflation here, and also it would even cause food shortage, even starvation. So we know that a lot of people will be taking at a great number. So we seeing that war is constantly increasing. We seeing that things are constantly picking up. We seeing that, hey man, we're here, you know. So even though we'll sound like a broken record, but these are the times that we're living in. Also, we knowing that sea hip is on the horizon. You know what I'm saying? That MOTB, that you know what I'm saying, that grain of rice, you know, shall go into your right hand or into your forehead. So it's a lot of these things are coming down the pipeline. We seeing these things are constantly happening. You know, hey man, every turn you see, you know, left and right, that something is going on. You know, we seeing that we're here, man. We seeing that, hey man, the Lord is visiting the earth that He created. Hey man, one thing about it, the Lord has set up watchmen, you know, to warn you. The Lord said, you know, I set thee as a watchman over the house of Israel. So let's get that right quick. Let's go here to Ezekiel chapter 3. Ezekiel chapter 3. Let's see. Let's go here, Jeremiah chapter 28 first. Jeremiah chapter 28 and let's start at verse 8. And it reads that the prophet that had been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries, against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. That's what we're warning you about each and every day. Either you accept it or you don't. You know, so we, you know, Lord compelled us to go out in the highways and byways. We know that we coming at the end of our testimony. We know that famine of the words come. We seeing that 2024 is going to be a rocket road. And one thing about it, we already know that the elder Tahar has deemed this the year of Jacob's trouble. So we know that we are very close, man. Hey, man. I mean, and also we very close to our deliverance. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, we ready to get out of here. So we seeing that, you know, we constantly warning you about a war of an evil time, you know, of this a dark road ahead. We telling you left and right, tribulation, you know, all sorts of things are getting ready to happen. You know, war is on the horizon, pestilence, you know, already seeing people are getting sick, you know what I'm saying, this respiratory disease, you know, these constantly telling you about it is spreading, you know, these, you know, all sorts now. New York is on high alert, Chicago, California, you know what I'm saying, it's already saying about they having these high tides out there. So things are constantly just brewing. You know, the world is changing right before our eyes. And one thing about it is that, hey man, we got to seek the Lord right now because the door of repentance is closing. So we're seeing that we're here. Verse 9, it said, the prophet which prophesied of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord has truly sent him. So one thing about it, you will know in that day that a prophet was among you. And the one thing about it is that we seeing that the Lord is making it plain upon tape. We seeing that, you know, these prophecies are lining up just like clockwork. And one thing about it, so, you know, 2024, the first look, we seeing that, hey man, earthquakes everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, the Lord, amen, setting that off, man. We seeing it happening right before our eyes. And one thing about it is that, you know, we knowing that we getting very, very close to this dark, perilous time, which in fact is Jacob's trouble. So now we'll go to the videos, and after the video, we'll start the lesson, and I hope that you will get edified.
7.4 has hit north central Japan, according to the public broadcaster there, NHK. The meteorological agency has since issued a tsunami warning along coastal regions. I can confirm that we've heard from the NHK, who is the official broadcaster in Japan, and these are their words. They say, a tsunami is coming, a big tsunami is coming. Please run away immediately. Remember the Great East Japan earthquake. Everyone, a tsunami is coming.
The ATF has made updates to their background check policy, and effective today, they give an exemption to illegal immigrants to be able to purchase firearms. Now, this strangely coincides with California, New York, and Chicago making it legal for illegals to be police officers. Tell me our government isn't about to pull some shenanigans without telling me our government's about to pull some shenanigans.
Biden Biden passes a defense bill that allows it to be legal to search and seize property and telephone conversations, text messages, and emails from the American public without a warrant. Russia and Iran have officially dropped the US dollar, and T-Mobile has silently slipped into their new TOS, a policy that says that if you're talking about anything that they dislike through your text messages, your social media platforms, or otherwise, that they are going to fine you, because they can legally do that now because of this Defense Act that President Biden passed to spy on American citizens. And so the censorship crackdown has begun in full, and it's going to increase. The arm of the government is totalitarian. Persecution of Christians is on the rise, and the US dollar is on the verge of collapse as Iran and Russia totally depart from the US dollar, and as other nations like China and other big nations are dumping US treasuries. Are you ready for what's next? If the answer is no, then you're a wise person, because there is no readiness, there is no preparedness. We're not ready for this. And the only way we're getting through it is through the Spirit. The only way we're getting through it.
Earthquakes and tsunami warnings all over the world today, as not just Japan, but Hawaii, Alaska, California, Yellowstone, Montana, Indonesia, the Virgin Islands, El Salvador, New Mexico, Puerto Rico, Fiji, Russia, Texas, Chile, and the Northern Mariana Islands have all experienced earthquakes in the last 24 hours, as today, January 1st, 2024, the first day of the new year, it seems that the entire world is trembling. Now, I'm going to be sharing with you the latest video footage so you can see it for yourself, and the tsunamis that are pouring in. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. This all hitting on
Welcome to the new year. Here goes the World War III news. We have a commercial vessel that was attacked by the Houthi rebels. The United States had to retaliate because the Houthi rebels was also firing on a helicopter that was trying to help the commercial ship in a distress call. They ended up killing 10 rebels, and they ended up sinking 3 of the Houthi ships. And then we had a situation just a little bit ago of a gunfight between the Houthi rebels and the United States in the Red Sea. Things are getting crazy over there, but watch this.
And now to a major escalation in the Middle East involving American forces. The U.S. Navy says it retaliated against attackers from Yemen in the Red Sea after they say those attackers fired on Navy helicopters. And if you recall, a few weeks ago, a ship from Bath Iron Works was also targeted.
It's the first lethal action taken by the U.S. military in those waters since the Israel-Hamas war began. Megan Fitzgerald has more for us.
Tonight, the most aggressive action yet against the U.S. Navy in the Red Sea since the Israel-Hamas war broke out. The U.S. Defense Department saying 4 boats with Houthi rebels from Yemen firing on U.S. Navy helicopters. Those choppers firing back, sinking 3 of the 4 ships and killing all crew members on board. The 4th boat got away. The incident started when the small boat started firing on the Maersk Hangzhou vessel. The container ship issuing a distress call and firing back until the Navy arrived. The U.S. Central Command saying the rebels were just feet away from getting on.
Right, you get the point. Anyways, we also got Iran, who also is sending a warship into the Red Sea as the United States is stepping up their attacks. As the Houthi rebels is saying they're going to retaliate for this. Elon Musk predicts that 2024 is going to be even more crazy. Yep, me too. It's been worse since 2020. It's been getting worse and worse and worse. First people didn't see it, now they're waking up fast as hell. Iran has activated most of their axis of resistance in the Middle East right now, and they're all showing their fair share of attacks on Israel. Israel's military is also watching Jordan, as they also are saying that there could be attacks coming from their soil from the Hezbollah, showing the Middle East is really going crazy. But not just the Middle East. We also have Russia, as Russia announced that Ukraine is not their enemy, and it's the West that's influencing Ukraine, and that's making them do what they do, and that they're using the West for their own benefit. And that's the one thought that's always been in the back of my mind, like, what if Ukraine is really on the other side and they get frustrated with the West and team up with Russia? As there are people in Zelensky's camp that's asking for him to be removed and for them to team up with Russia and move against the West. But we'll see what happens. Anyways, watch this.
Well, they are helping our enemy, but they're actually using them to address their own problems, to promote their own agenda. So Ukraine by itself is not our enemy, but those who are using Ukrainians to attack us, to destroy the Russian statehood, who want to, as they say, achieve a strategic defeat of Russia on the battleground. Basically, people on the West, they are our enemies. There are different people.
Yeah, dude has no chill. He literally said the West is our enemies. And this is coming as there was a Ukrainian attack on Russia's Belgorod. There was an airstrike done, and also there was NATO weapons that was used in this attack. Listen to this. More attacks launched against Israel as the war is intensifying across the Middle East. Here's the one about Russia blaming NATO on the terrorist attack. I know I showed it in the last video, but I meant to specifically say the United States and the United Kingdom. They said that those two were behind this attack. Israel also hit back in Syria and Lebanon after there was rockets launched against them from those areas. And China and North Korea declare 2024 their year of friendship, as they're going to try to deepen their ties in literally every field. Just like North Korea's doing with Russia. What the
So we see that we're very close. You know, we seeing that 2024 is constantly picking up. You know, we seeing that things is constantly, escalate. We seeing that things, we're getting there. You know, we seeing that we hoping that this, that the Lord go ahead on and bring forth Jacob's trouble, because we're gonna constantly measure the time diligently. You know, it's gonna be a very short lesson through the Spirit. Just gonna hit them key points. Let's start off in 2 Ezra chapter 16. 2 Ezra chapter 16, we'll start up around, let's start up at 32. We'll start there. 2 Ezra chapter 16 and verse 32. And it reads that, and the earth shall be laid waste, and the field thereof shall wax old, and her ways and all her path shall grow full of thorns, because no man shall travel there through. This place is getting ready to be a third world country. We're getting very close to this time. Verse 33 said, the virgin shall mourn, having no bridegroom. The women shall mourn, having no husband. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. We get, a lot of people getting ready to be taken in a great number. Verse 34 said, in the war shall their bridegroom be destroyed, and their husband shall perish of famine. So one thing about, we know that World War III, that draft is coming back. A lot of people go over there in that last and final battle right before the great and glorious return. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. I'm a little bit under the weather, but we're going to bear with it through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. So we know that, it's a lot of people getting ready to be taken out of great numbers. We know that great death is coming. We know that the Lord is constantly bringing forth all these different plagues and scourges, and a lot of people still are not considering, still are going on, as things are normal. They hate right now. We already know that the election has attained and the rest was blinded. Verse 35 say, hear now these things and understand them, ye servants of the Lord. Verse 36, behold, though, the word of the Lord, receive it, believe not the gods of whom the Lord spake. Verse 37 said, behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. Verse 38, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Verse 39 said, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. So that's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing all these sorrows. We're seeing all these different events are happening on every side, and they're going to constantly increase, you know what I'm saying, because the Lord is ushering in the kingdom of heaven that dwells in right. So we know that we're very close. You know that we'll sound like a broken record, but amen. Prophecies are speaking right now. So we're seeing that we're here. The Bible's a true book. Verse 40 said, O my people, hear my words. Make you ready to thy battle. And in those evils, be even as pilgrims upon the earth. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, we know that these evils are constantly growing, and I make you ready to what? To the battle. What battle? Jacob's trouble, the hour of temptation. You know, just like I say, you know, the head elder of a great millstone, Tahar, already had deemed this year of Jacob's trouble. So we're seeing that we're very close to that time. You know, everyone on the planet, you know, it's getting ready to be tried. You know, one day, man, we know that things are getting ready to get dark. You know, so it's dark roads ahead. You know, so the first look at 2024, it looked very, very dim. So this is the quiet before the storm. We already know it's going to be a rocky road. But one thing about it, hey man, we know that we got to go through this. We got to go through this last and final tribulation period to get to the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? So we know that the evil is sown. So like, let's go here to Matthew chapter 24. Matthew chapter 24. One moment. Matthew chapter 24. Bear with me, you know, dealing with a little cold, but hey, we're going to work through it. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 3, it said, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the signs of thy coming and of the end of the world? So, you know, hey, you know, the disciples want to know what's going to happen in their time or this time. So, you know, they want to know when the end go come, when the Lord is going to usher in the kingdom of heaven that dwells in right. That's what we're doing. We're hastening his great and glorious return. Man, that's what we're waiting on patiently. You know, we ready to get out of here, man. Verse 4 said, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. Verse 5, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am the Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. So we seeing that every day, you know, all these false prophets are rising, now all these different scandals and stuff. And the Lord's constantly what? It bringing out everything to the light right now, you know what I'm saying? So all the lies and deception, you know, we seeing it's being revealed right before our eye. And also he's making Esau bear and barrel. So we living in these times, real time. Verse 6, it said, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of war. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Verse 7 said, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, pestilence, and earthquakes in diverse places. Verse 8, all these are the beginning of sorrow. So that's where we at right now, you know. So 2024, you know, we seeing that the birth pains are constantly increasing. We seeing that, you know, things are constantly moving at a fast pace. We seeing that nations are rising against nation, you know what I'm saying? Also, when you go to Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 2, you know, it's going to be city against city, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be a lawless time, insurrection, civil war. A lot of things are coming down the pipeline. So the earthquakes in diverse places, that's what happened today. You know, the Bible's spot on. We seeing that we're here, the beginning of sorrow. The Lord already said all these things must come to pass, then shall the end come. So we right there, you know what I'm saying? Hey, man. The Bible's a true book, so we seeing that, you know, it's chaos, you know, confusion, disorder, you know, strife and envy. You know, a lot of things are constantly picking up. We seeing that what wickedness is constantly being great, and also the Lord's getting ready to bring forth that sword, that judgment. You know what I'm saying? So we're right at this time. So hey, man, we got to seek the Lord while He can't be found. So let's go to our last and final script. Let's go here to Ecclesiasticus, Ecclesiasticus chapter 32. We'll close that here. Ecclesiasticus, Sirach, chapter 32. Let's see what I got to find it right quick. Bear with me one moment. This is it right here. Ecclesiasticus, Sirach, chapter 32 and verse 14 said, whoso fears the Lord will receive his discipline, and they that seek him early shall find favor. So one thing about it is that, you know, the elect right now, we're seeking the Lord early. We hoping that we will find favor, you know, being a part of the hopeful elect, starting with the 144, and also the great multitude, the women and children and men, you know what I'm saying, the believers, the true believers of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. So we knowing that we are very close to this time. You know, we knowing that we're very close to that grain of rice. We knowing that we are very close to our salvation. And one thing about it, man, that's what we are constantly redeeming the time wisely. We're constantly watching. We are praying without ceasing. You know, we constantly striving. You know what I'm saying? In depth, you know what I'm saying? This word, this wisdom, and not. That's why the Lord said, no, this gospel shall be preached throughout the four corners of the earth, then shall the end come. So we right at that time. It's right on schedule. And one thing about it, you know, the Lord is getting ready to do a mighty work. We seeing these things are constantly picking up, you know what I'm saying? So this year is constantly bringing these prophecies more and more. They are manifesting, you know what I'm saying? We seeing they becoming more obvious, more clear, you know what I'm saying? 2024, the year of chaos, you know what I'm saying? Also, the great and glorious return of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, and our salvation is very close than we yet believe. So the title of the daily lesson, once again, is 2024, a year of chaos. So I like to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahushua by Hashem, Rekakadash. I like to say, Shalom, Shalom.